It seems as if my boy really knows how to keep fighting. Seems like inmate has a great grasp on resiliency. Do you want to know why? Why, it's because of me. What I did, who I built, and I understand that it will take time to break down the monster that I created. I know that it will take a long, long time. Because he was the one. At one point, he was my hottest commodity, my business maker, my machine. But then after a while, what happened? Why did inmate's image die? Because he simply was not the one. It was my biggest mistake. But the funny part is, it wasn't my fault. Not at all. And that can connect to the one reason why I'm here. Right now, doing what I am doing. One word. Interference. A coveted superstar of our industry that was known then, now, and forever will be known as a backstabbing, selfish, egomaniacal piece of shit. No matter what group he led, DX, right? We could talk about that. Evolution, right? It burned. You want to know why that is? Because of the interference. Because it was all about him, always. Not only is this project business, not only is this project personal, this project is in spite of the interference. Because when I was signed to the UWF, carrying inmate on my shoulders, there was another high-end business-making faction on the other side. You remember it, I know you do. The Syndicate. 3 of the baddest names in professional wrestling. Rebel Kid, Rob Admiral, Falcon Econom. That was money. And Paul failed them all. You know why that is? Because the whole time, it was never about those 3. It was always about him and him alone. And you saw it all for yourselves in broad daylight last year when that group imploded because of one man and one man only. And it made me cringe. It made me roll up into a ball and cringe. How could you do that? How could you spoil one of the most interesting things happening in the business of professional wrestling? How could you do it without looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself that you're a stupid idiot? How? How does any one normal man not realize how big of a mistake they just made? Not him. And to myself every day since, I always say, soon I will finish what the interference couldn't. I would lead a group to stardom the right way. I would enable the shift that nobody has been able to enable. I would be remembered in time for the money I made and the stars that gave birth, in spite of the interference. Because what he thought was a genius move for his own stock left him in the dust for good. And that just made me smile. It was a happy ending for all in this experience. Because now, whether you want to like me or hate me, I have the golden egg in the palm of my hand. I have the recipe that Paul did not want to acknowledge, that Paul didn't have the selflessness to exercise. The recipe for greatness. My boys. The boys that will take over and rip the foundations, the pillars off this juggernaut and build it into their own sanctuary. Rebel Kid. A superstar held back, smothered in the wings of who he thought was his mentor, but in reality, that was his stepping stool. And now he is finally free, and he is finally able. Bullstorm, the first potential great to be left in the dust, a man with so much inside, a raging fire that is now ready to detonate. You believe me or not, a storm is coming. And Eddie X. Who you say? Eddie X. Eddie X. The guy you don't know. I know what you were all thinking. Who in the blue hell was Eddie X? The same question you all asked about Inmate. And there's no reason for me to explain who this man is. So why don't you hear it from the man himself? Show the world who you are. I'm gonna say this one time and one time only for you all to understand. I'm not one of your so-called professional wrestlers. I'm not an entertainer. I am not your hero. And I'm not here to put on a show for you. I got 3 kids who I am not able to see because of my own actions in the real streets, where real fights happen, where real scars are put on the body. 3 kids that I have failed through my own choice of path. 3 kids that I promised would have a good father that would pay for everything they had. But you see, the problem was I had no money because of my own choice of path. The only way I was able to support my family was through the drugs, through the gunfights, through the robberies. That is the real world. And all of you here sit here and pretend like these rich circus acts deserve any sympathy, deserve your backing, deserve their story to be told, when the reality is they're all phony, no good, two-faced, bogus heroes that you chose to be delusional toward. You think this world is real? Huh? You think this world is real? This one right here, it's about to be. Because I didn't just sign a contract with Warden to put on a show, to entertain you, to juggle balls and get your applause. I signed with Warden because he gave me the opportunity to make the money I need to make to support the people that I gave broken promises to salvage any last bit of dignity that I had in me. You got your 1, 2, 3s, you got your DQs, you got your countouts, you got your rules. But when Eddie X is in the building, rules don't matter, titles don't matter, and your hero stories don't matter. And I'm surrounded by the only other guys that I know here that can kick ass, take names, get money, move forward, the enforcers of violence. You got your wannabe badasses. You got your phony chump champions. You got playtime. But it's time that we stop playing where we get paid. Because Warden brought me here under no conditions other than to rip the heads off of these so-called bad boys and show them a glimpse into reality. Because when you decide to get balls and be in the opposite corner of Eddie X, reality will strike, reality will kill, because nothing else matters. I need to do what I need to do for me and me alone, and my confidants and I, my friends, and I have the same philosophy. That's the only thing we have in common. is this philosophy. And it all starts with inmate. Inmate, there are no lies when I speak and when I tell you that you were one of us, our kind. I'm telling the truth, and that is far, far behind you. You have become a fairy tale badass. And it's time that I disassemble you for good and show you a glimpse into the world you used to live in, and teach my friends exactly what they need to be to make this ship sail. Inmate, tonight you either choose violence or death. The choice is yours.
Well, god damn, Mr. X! Does X mean dead? I think so. Jesus fuck. We're being taken backstage real quick. Wait, what's this? Hold on.